Wow, and you're back. Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Wargame European Escalation. It's time for a Counter-Strike in Counter-Strike for the third mission of the West Germans here against East Germany, with the British teaming up with us here in Panzer Brigade 2's little operation. We're going to go ahead and see this cutscene, and I will see you guys on the other side. And by the way, thank you so much for your continued support. It's absolutely mind-boggling, so keep it coming, and thanks so much. Here we go with a little cutscene, and we'll start the mission. Here we go, everybody.
The NVA's momentum is broken and its offensive slowed. The East German government vainly urges the USSR to intervene. Taking advantage of the enemy's weakened state, the Anglo-German forces counterattack. Intelligence services have located an East German regimental headquarters in our vicinity. If we destroy it, that would neutralize the enemy's ability to react and grant us control of the highway. Still, according to intelligence, two secondary headquarters are close by. The first is in Alpha Sector, the second in Bravo. Once those are neutralized, their regimental headquarters would have to call in reinforcements from further away, which means they might not get there in time.
Alright, so it's time for our counterattack now, and we're going to get some new units to use, including we have over here the LAAD blowpipe. And it says SAM, surface-to-air missiles, are extremely effective, or rather only effective against aerial targets. The blowpipe not so effective, but we're going to go ahead and get some icons up here and get moving. We got to destroy two enemy command posts. We're going to hide this command, by the way, to a little better position. In Alpha, there is a enemy command, and in Bravo, there's an enemy command headquarters. So one of the most valuable things we can bring out onto the battlefield right now is the Gazelles. These are going to be really good for pinpointing enemy ambushes and making sure our offensive goes off without a hitch. In the meantime, we're going to bring up some extremely valuable armor, which is the Chieftain Mark V ×4, I'd say, to block the highway against any enemy attacks, and bring up those Panzer Grenadiers. For an ATGM, or anti-tank guided missile, to hit its target, the unit needs to remain motionless and conscious while the missile is in flight, otherwise it will go out of control. Heat, or high explosive anti-tank shells, and ATGMs are shaped charged warheads. They are not more effective when closer to their target. Click anywhere on the weapon to enable or disable it, which basically means that if an ATGM hits a target, no matter what range it's from, it will take damage. And we're going to put these martyrs up here. We're going to put a couple things on hiding. Meanwhile, let's go hunt down those enemy commands. These are their HQs, somewhere here in Alpha, somewhere here in Bravo, and there's one there. And at Charlie, by the way, not only do we have to kill the enemy command there, but we also have to capture it. That's the main objective of our assault. So we're going to turn off these 70mm until we find the enemy command. And we're actually going to go deep first at Bravo. First, we're going to get a little bit of a recon operation on the highway. And second of all, we're going to probably want to get some armor over on this right side, just so that way we can stop the enemy's assault if they try to go for golf, which they're sure to do. Though their effective offensive power has been weakened, that doesn't mean it's ground to a complete halt. We see F.A.Q units here in a good ambush around the corner, which basically means they could fire at anything right here. And there's bound to be, the entire woods here are probably full, so we're going to want to use the main highway. Meanwhile, we're going to want to stay away from recon units like that, probably in the woods there. That's probably what that is, or some sort of transport. The T-813 is also it has a heavy machine gun on it, a PKT on top of that, as well as the SPW-60, which has a 14.5mm. And there's our command there. Farung spotted right out in the open. The enemy didn't even attempt to hide it. We're going to go ahead and target that right now with our missiles. Going to get close enough and hit it with 70mm, 28 missiles total. So hopefully we get a couple of immediate hits and we can hit the other command on our way back if and when we see it. I'm not sure if we spotted that one yet or not. Here goes the Snebs, and in the meantime we're going to get some more tanks purchased here. There goes those missiles. No hits in the first barrage, or at least no kills. We're going to need some 1A1s. The more the merrier when it comes to German armor. More guns, the better against the enemy. They're going to have multiple targets. Farung's destroyed there. 70mm got critical. It's got a critical ammo capacity now. I'm going to just reconsider our defense setup here just for a second. Snebs, by the way, moving off. Moving a little too close to that SPW. There we are. Alright, so we've reconned some enemy ambushes. Obviously, the Fagats are going to have to go down. Panzer Grenadiers firing at SPW-60 PBs, which basically means that there's got to be infantry in these woods somewhere, so we need to recon that a little bit more before we move up. In the meantime, bring up some more German armor to have more guns on the field, and Panzer Grenadiers actually should probably target something like these 1972s. In the meantime, let's have some of these snebs come up and engage additional targets. Let's look for whatever might be hiding in the woods and target that. T-72 or T-62 1972s. No hits yet, but they are worried from the initial barrages, and I would bet that's a command right there. Oh, yep, that's definitely a command right there in the field. Frong spotted. We're gonna go ahead and turn that back on and see if we can hit him. If not, the sneb will be in action. Looks like one rocket fired from that sneb. Looks like the FAR there is out, so we're gonna send him back to base and go back to our fob there. Now the enemy is probably getting ready to attack. You can see motor shoots coming into the woods, so we definitely want to make sure our flanks are secure. The Panzer Grenadiers that are here are really good. In fact, here comes an enemy attack down the main highway, so it's good that we brought up all those tanks. Gonna have to get away from that command that's about to attack, or the recon rather. All right, we cleared out the enemy tanks here. By the way, enemy tanks are extremely effective AA units with this kind of light helicopters that we're against. The great thing about using these Gazelles means we don't have to get up on top of the plateau. We don't have to put our men's lives at risk. We can just basically get out of there. Gazelle taking a couple of hits, but still getting out of there. Bowler there, getting out by the skin of his teeth. And Panzer Grenadiers firing some warning shots at T-62s as the French base program launches. Alright, so T-55 AMs there over on the right side. We're going to get these snebs back to base to rearm. We've got another group of sneb here. There's got to be some infantry here in the woods on the left side, and I'm really fearful of bringing those tanks out. Meanwhile, we will need some AA. We see some enemy choppers coming up. Let's get some Geopards up here. Rockets hitting the KPZ T-55 AMs. If we go to the left and try to crush those, that's going to be a long way around. And, well, I think the enemy's actually about to fly over the greatest AA in the game, which is just troops basically in cover. It's really going to be hurtful for the enemy. We've got our tanks nicely clumped up here, and I think we're probably going to want some AA on the right side too, so let's bring up some of our better units there. Panzer Grenadiers engaging the enemy. Let's get our FARs out of there. Or as I call them, the FARs, but the snebs. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers are getting shot at. A couple of men lost there, possibly. They're probably going to be down to 36 men until they get killed. Panzer Grenadiers are very effective and very predictable units, and they're very kick-ass. Mi-24 is down to just a little help. Help from the Geopard there. They were just down to a little bit of health, and the Geopard helped finish them off. Oh, look at that. LSKs are coming on the right side, and we called up flak panzers at the right time. Snebs probably want to get out of there, then they could be hit by rockets, and this other sneb can be on recon then just to make sure they don't get around us. Alright, the convoy in the middle continues to build. We're going to want something with us like the Lucius, for example. Oh, I know you hate it. It's the Luke's baby, but the Lucius, because he's like a bouncer that just won't let you get in the club. You got to love to hate him, and you got to hate to love him, because he gives you line of sight, but he's easy to die, though he is quick to move, so you can get out of the enemy's way right away. Now, T-55s are here. I wouldn't be surprised if that motor shoots came up with them, as well as some ATGMs possibly. There's the motor shoots that were with them a second ago. Let's kill them. Any ATGM groups are top priority. LSKs are getting pummeled right there. Looks like another attack might be... Yep, T-34 is on the way as well. Good thing we set up our defenses early. T-34-85s, oh boy, they're not going to be in a good situation here in a second, that is for sure. We're going to move up. Let's keep these snebs on hold fire until we find some more infantry. Oh, forgot groups. That's top priority right there. Never mind. T-34-85s are heading into the woods for an ambush. T-55s are with them. We'll head out to this field. Hopefully in the open will give us the ability to engage any enemy targets easily, though I guarantee there's some sort of infantry possibly in that house there. T-55s are taking a hell of a damage. A lot of damage. T-34... 85s and T-55s are coming up. Snebs are ready to engage. Go ahead and turn those off if, well, they're out of ammo now. It's too late, but let's get that other sneb rearmed. They're extremely valuable units. Amazing how much free-firing rockets can just blow up everything. And those enemy tanks not having a good day either against that amount of armor. Got some very capable British units and some a hell of a lot of German guns. So that's a really good mix. A really good mix. Marder VTS-1's with us. Still not finding where that enemy infantry is, and we're 8 minutes into this battle. By the way, I should have mentioned too. By the way, complete this mission in less than 20 minutes is something that I did spot a little earlier. So obviously, I'm trying to be as fast as possible. Though considering that we don't want to take any losses, and I don't think we've taken any yet. Actually, we've taken a 10-point loss, though to what I'm not sure. Oh, maybe it was Panzer Grenadiers, or I don't know. Actually, I think it was the 2 blowpipe groups. They may have gotten killed by the helicopters from earlier, so that's all right. They started over there. It wasn't my unit choice. All right, there's got to be some sort of unit on this left side. I'm really afraid to move up. There's going to be some sort of ATGM here or here, and I definitely don't want to get too close to it, though. The best thing to deal with it right now is the tank blob. T-34-85 is coming out of the woods on the right side. Leo 182's have got to be up. Let's have their martyrs come up over there too. Maybe they can stun them. F.A.Q group, there it is, right there in the woods. Look at that. They actually don't have a shot off on us right now. Let's go ahead and go back and rearm, and then we'll clear those units out of there. We don't want to get any closer, I don't think. Let's go ahead and stop right here. They can't actually see us or target us anyway. Hate to pull the recon out of there. Leo's taking a shot from the back there with the T-55 AMs. Hopefully these units are actually panicked because of their earlier engagement with the Snebs. And 1 unit destroyed there. Really afraid to move these units right now. Every direction seems like the wrong direction to go. Martyr 1s. Gonna go ahead and put those Leo 2, or the 1A2 Leos and the Martyr 1s are gonna be in block positions there. Let's go ahead and stop these units here and get up some supplies right away. We're gonna want some more supplies and probably some more AA up as well. And we'll begin our attack finally here at minute 10, though it feels a little late. I would have liked to do that around somewhere minute 8. All right, Gazelle Snebs are all rearmed. We're probably going to bring them up one at a time. So let's go ahead and bring up that group first, then this group, and we'll just start from hotel, bringing those groups up in order to fire at the enemy. Looks like an enemy tank is firing from the woods, so we need our recon over here right away. The Lukes don't really want to move that out of the woods yet, since there's tanks here, ATGMs here, possibly tanks behind us. So we're going to have to wait till these Gazelles get up. Now we can spot targets. There we go. Bad day for you, T-55s. Put all these units on hold fire for now. Gazelle Snebs here. We know where that enemy ATGM is, right here somewhere. We can actually have him force fire on the ground. Let's go ahead and try that. See if we can... Actually, you know what? Recon. We can get close. No. So there's that T-55 there. Good thing we didn't move the Lukes. Alright, bad day to be a F.A.Q. Goodbye. So that was an incredibly well-placed unit. If we would have moved up, we would have been immediately eliminated. Probably would have lost a half of our tank group. And look at all the tanks there. My God, we're going to have a tank battle, everybody. Oh, boy. Get your smiles on. We're about to have a real battle. Alright, let's get some more tanks up here. Some more British armor will do us good. A couple more tanks will do. Sneb's still engaging that T-55 down there. We can go ahead and panic him. Actually, we might be able to finish that bastard off. Wouldn't be a bad thing to just finish off that last tank that's holding us up. Snebs are incredible buys here. Really good option to have those available. Get a little closer. T-55s are now routing. Snebs can go ahead and get in without dealing with that machine gun. I don't know if they actually want to fly on top of the enemy. I don't know what they're doing there. Alright, we've got the enemy right in front of us now. Go ahead and keep the Flak Panzers behind and the Geopards behind. We'll reinforce those Panzer Grenadiers right away, and that other tank's finished off. And we need to send some of our Snebs back to base, back to the FOB. Right side looks secure. A lot of shells flying back and forth. Leo 1A1's taking a lot of hits there. We're going to back this group up. Alright, here we go. I know you want me to zoom in, but I really got to see what's going on here with these enemy tanks. I need to see how many of them there are. Wow, just like autocannons on our side firing with a total of, well, these 8 up front, and I'm not sure if these 1A1s are firing, but let's get them into the repair circle. We can go ahead and move up now. Looks like the road is clear, other than that earlier F.A.Q we saw here. Leo 1A1's taking some hits too. Real good battles here against the enemy. ATGMs are going to have to be the first things to die. Go Go ahead and activate these snebs and see if we can hit the enemy. Don't want to go any further than those snebs. Just stay right behind them with those tanks. Enemy T-55s are fleeing. Jupiter trucks need some repair. We're going to need some heavy sort of fob, I guess, a heavy fob. We're going to need some serious supplies. That's really what I've been wanting to say. Looks like the snebs were able to kill those units there. Hopefully those F.A.Qs are dead. I don't know if they actually got them. Malyuka is going to be the next target. Enemy recon spotted on the right. Chieftains are ready to rock. They didn't even take a scratch. Leo 1A1s. Going to keep them in the back to support the British armor as soon as that rolls up. Gazelle's ready to rock. Another Gazelle heading back to base. SPWs there really love to try to eat those snebs, but unfortunately they've been snubbed. Alright, helicopter attack looks like it's building on the right side again. Martyrs and blowpipes are really going to take those units down. Those martyrs have autocannons that can do some real damage to the enemy. Alright, Chieftain Mark 5s. Oh boy, look at all those tanks in our way. Damn it. Enemy just keeps throwing armored roadblocks in front of us. Oh, yeah, I didn't want to do that, actually. I wanted to hit the stop button. Alright, looks like they actually were able to see some of our units. Even though they're blinking. Hopefully they don't get close enough to hit any of these other units here. Alright. Okay, so the attack on the right is ready to begin. We've got our additional chieftains here. Bring up that sneb to find that Malyuka. And tanks can go back to the Chinooks if and when needed. Blowpipes, go baby, don't blow. Flak Panzers, get up as close as possible. LSKs has yet to take a hit. We're focusing on two areas here. Oh no, I didn't mean to have the Leos target the damn Malyuka. Wow, enemy armor eliminated. F.A.Q's in the back there on the left side. Turn it into a damn ballroom blitz. Alright, we're starting to get a little overwhelmed with the amount of targets we have to engage here. Malyuka's still top priority. LSK stunned and done. Nice hits there, more snebs up. Top priorities are F.A.Qs. We need some more AA up here. Malyuka's top priority. ATGMs are top priority. British and German armor moving up. Rolling together, baby. At this time, British armor is a little too expensive, but we can use some more flak panzers at this point. Alright, we gotta get the enemy ATGMs out of the way, and then we can roll in with tanks, and then right behind them will be our AA. We gotta stay real close together with all this. Our FOB's almost out. Chinooks are gonna be a real good thing to keep right behind our troops. Lukes can come up with them now. Go ahead and bring up these Chinooks just a little bit. We've got 16 minutes. Really got to do some pushing now. Got to get back with those snebs. Snebs choosing to sacrifice themselves there. Sad thing about helicopters is they have a lot of armor for the first bar, and then after that they're done. So the enemy can't call out anything else. We're going to get that other Frung's UAZ. And yeah, shame on that helicopter, but just a little derpification from the friendly AI, who's always against you. AI doesn't stand for artificial intelligence, it stands for against intelligence. Alright, time to tighten the noose a little bit. We need to get our own command up here. We've got 17 minutes to do this. We may take some losses here. Alright, so flak panzers are going to have to start targeting things like the urns. All we got to do is slip a command in there in just the next couple minutes. And real tragedy on those snaps. Real good unit. Oh wow, I thought those Leos would be well defended behind that forest. Oh boy. Flak Panzers are extremely important units. Flukes, oh my god. Hold your breath, boys. This is going to get really helly. Quite literally. Alright, some of this AA should have been up here a little bit earlier. But the best AA in the game are tanks armed with machine guns. Unfortunately, these Leos don't have that, but the British armor does. Just gonna have to layer against the enemy. Gotta put the pressure on to get in there. Gotta get that next objective. Chieftains are hitting targets. LSK, go down. Malyuka routing. Taking a loss of 1 Leo there. Sneb. Flak Panzers miraculously are alive. I have no idea. And with just a few seconds left to spare, we're able to get in here with this command. And it's time for a little bit of a break. I think some schnitzel's in order. Damn right. Alright, that's it. That was pretty flawless, even though we took a loss of a tank and a Sneb. Still a lot for us to bring up to the next round against the East Germans.
The NVA, overstretched and exhausted, gave way one after the other to the Anglo-German attacks.
Damn right they did. Alright, so look at that. We've kicked the door open, and we're going to have to follow this up in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm really impressed with how I did. Of course, no losses would have been great, but, you know, I'm no pro. Wow, 1 Gazelle destroyed a Frongzuaz, a Fagat, T-55, 2 more Fagats, a T-55A. Look at how valuable these helicopters are. The other one, all commands pretty much were destroyed by those Gazelles. Those Snebs are amazing. Fagat, that is exactly what they're for, a very hidden and a very valuable unit. Meanwhile, Chieftains and Leos holding the line against just an endless number of T-55s. Even a Soviet T-62 was destroyed by these units as well. So really, really well done there. Losses again, the Gazelle and the Leo, very tragic. But losses are necessary to secure the fatherland against these kinds of threats, and we will continue to do so. Meanwhile, some units even got up to combat level 5. LAAD blowpipe now up to level 5, which basically means when it fires, it'll hit the dirt 3 more meters away. It's amazing. Really hate that unit. That's the worst unit in the game. All right, so that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Your support ever so amazing. So until next time, this is Raptor reminding you to keep your password and pimpan strong, and I'll see you guys in the next mission. Bye.